Hi people, my name is Jeff and today we are going to be showing off a good chunk of the latest alphas that have been released for the Total War Shogun 2 Carlist Wars mod. And as you can see, Portugal now has units. These are the Kingdom of Portugal units, and we will start off with their line infantry, starting off with their unit of grenadiers in summer dress. A unit of flintlock muskets with smoothbore rifles. Well, with smooth bores. That's what all the other stuff at the end of their name means. Then we have the winter dress grenadiers. The summer dress fusiliers. The winter dress fusiliers. And the unit name I cannot pronounce for their skirmishers. Both in their winter and summer dress. Now, Portugal doesn't have a lot of units, mainly because they just didn't have a lot of units. Like, as you might have seen, they only have line infantry and 2 units of line infantry and 1 skirmisher, because that was all the variety their army had at the time. And it's even worse for the other side, because they have 1 less type of cavalry units. But on the Kingdom of Portugal side, we do have our Lancers over here, a dedicated melee unit, in both their winter and summer dress. And then we have the mounted skirmishers, which are a light dragoon unit, in both their winter dress and their summer dress. And finally, we have the general here presented in his winter dress. But unique generals, just like the ones that were added to the French, will be added to both the British, Portuguese, and Spanish alike. So you can flesh out your armies a bit more in what general you use. Now, as we go to the other side of the field, we have the other Portuguese units. These are the Miguelist Portuguese. And they also get a unit of grenadiers in both summer and winter dress here. Then they get a fusilier unit here in their winter dress. And their summer dress. Their skirmisher unit over here in their winter dress and in their summer dress. So with that, both factions are practically equal in the units they wield, because they both draw from the same armories and practically the same army. The major difference is that the Miguelist only had 1 type of cavalry, which was the regular cavalry, which is a mix between a melee and ranged cavalry unit, which means they will outstab melee, not melee cav, they will outshoot melee cav, and they will outstab ranged cav. But they're not great at both. They will be outshot by other ranged cavalry, and they will be outstabbed by dedicated melee cavalry. And then also we have over here the Portuguese general in summer dress. Now, these are not the only things that have been added, tweaked, or reworked. A lot more stuff has been done, to which I am going to need to, well, look at the cheat sheet. because I don't remember everything. And it's a lot of things because we've made like what, started at alpha 34 again, so we're at 38, so we have 4 alphas to go through. So alpha 34. The crashes caused by the unique generals for the July monarchy, France, have been fixed by lowering the poly count on some models. And both new horses and saddles have been added to the game, as you might have seen. The horses are a bit smaller and more varied. It's not all just one horse anymore, same with the saddles. All of these are custom made. Then we go on to Beta 35. New sounds have been added for guns, as we finally found a way to assign different sound to different gun units. Good thing. Horse models have been made a bit smaller to be more realistic. More sounds for muskets, rifles, artillery, rocket artillery, howitzers, mortars will be added in the future. Now we know how to do it. Fixing several sound glitches. And that was it for Alpha 35. Then we go to Alpha 36. Alpha 36 sees the first tier of British artillery being added, which I will show off in just a bit. Same with the Bourbon monarchy getting their artillery. Light change to the statistics of artillery units. The projectile trails for Buck and Ball have been removed because they, on the very large, like 80 versus 80 unit battles, caused glitches and crashes. Then we go on to Alpha 37. I think we're already on 37. Yeah, 37. Slight buff to the British rocket artillery, because they seem to be too weak from testing. And new animations for all artillery units. They will now have a unique reload animation specific to this mod. And then finally we come to Alpha 38, which I'm showing off right now. Damage for rocket artillery had been increased again because it still seemed too weak. The addition of the Portuguese units with both artillery and presumably elite units on their way. And custom generals being added to the Bourbon monarchy. And that's where we are now, so let's just quit out of this battle and take a look at both the British and French artillery. Now, the thing is, I know I promised this video to be out way sooner, but then my internet died, which if you were on the Discord server, you've probably known of. It got fixed, thankfully. And then Izzy decided to release Portuguese units, so I had to do this all over again. But no, let's just go and take a look at the artillery units now. See, we now have a full category of siege artillery with 12-pounder mortars, 24-pounder mortars, light rockets, which I'll take a unit of, take a unit of you, let's just take a unit of everything. 32-pounder cannons, 36-pounder, 42-pounder, 48-pounder, and 64-pounder. Yes, these are expensive. I'm going to set the funds to custom. And then for the French, which was the Bourbon monarchy, if I remember, you now have your unique generals. If you're regular generals, you have your marshal staff, you have King Charles X, and you have your Nicholas Joseph Mason. Let's just take him to show him off. Again, you have your siege artillery with your 12, 24-pounder mortars, 32-pounder guns, 36, 42, 48, and 64. Now, the field artillery is still the same as it used to be, so no real changes to show off there. But let's just show these off in a battle. So over here we have the rocket artillery, which is the same model as we have in Scramble for the Far East. With then our, in this case, summer dress crews. Over here we have the 12-pounder mortars in winter dress, the 24-pounder mortars in summer dress. So that we have seen the summer and the winter dress variants of artillery crews. And then it is still just the units themselves. Well, the guns themselves to show off. With here the 32-pounders, the 36-pounders, the 42-pounders, and this cannon is getting quite big. 48-pounders. Right over here, and you can see the difference in size between the 42 and 48. Just to make sure that the units aren't mixed together. That's one glitch we have found. Do space your artillery out, because if guns are this close to each other, they won't fire. And then over here we have the 64-pounders, and these are beasts. They're really big guns. And this is siege artillery. These are not field guns. Which means that once you place them on the field, they'll be static. And they can't move. So, because of that, I am just going to put them in a line over here, so we can take a look at some of the animations. But first, just going to look at the other side for their artillery uniforms. Here's the summer dress uniform for the artillery crews. And here is the winter dress uniform for the artillery crews. Now, let's see if they can actually... let's see. I want you guys to, well, let's say shoot over here. Time to just look at the new animations. The guy setting off the fuse is a bit out of sync, but that's not something we are able to fix. As you can see here, they take out the ammunition box, they put a new round in. Then they pat it down. These guys are very British. Cleaning rod is still a bit off axis, but that's something we'll be fixing. And these are big guns. It takes a while to reload. See here, he takes out the torch, lights the fuse, then acts like the cannon is already fired, to then have the cannon fire. Well, that's the new animations and the new big guns. So with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time when we have more news.